In one of my last videos where I titled the thumbnail, Silly Fanboys, Ignoring Reality, I said in that video that I dare PlayStation to go ahead and ensure that it keeps all of its exclusives to the platform. One or maybe two PlayStation hardcore fans said yes, they need to go ahead and do that. Not only 24 hours after I made this video, what are we seeing on the internet? PlayStation somehow tactfully allows for one of its games that it's published to go over to the Xbox platform. This game is Death Stranding. I went ahead and I made the video talking about it. I did not necessarily think, nor did I know, that this was going to cause a ruckus. Apparently, there are PlayStation fans who are coming on the channel and are pretty much ragging on Xbox fans. Some of them are saying that, we're begging for games. Some of them are talking about how Xbox is still trash and all of the above. So guess what? Xbox players, y'all were sitting down chilling on your own. This is how crazy this is, okay? This is what I'm observing as a PC player looking at this whole thing from the outside. You're sitting there chilling on your own. You recently just got yourself every Bethesda game that comes out on Game Pass. You recently got yourself every Activision Blizzard King game. Well, not King, but Activision Blizzard game that comes on, Game Pass if your device can support it. So it might be a PC title like StarCraft or whatever. You're chilling, you're enjoying your games, you're looking forward to Indiana Jones, you're looking forward to Avowed, and some of the PC players that are also using, Game Pass, we're looking forward to some of these games as well because, it's a very small fee. Next thing you know, a PlayStation Studios developed game stealthily drops on your platform. You literally didn't see any announcement. You basically probably forgot about this game after 5 years, and somehow you are on the trash platform. You see, the reason why I think this particular game is causing a ruckus because all I wanted to do was just log it in, among the fold, like Pearl Abyss telling PlayStation, get lost. And even Ilphonic telling PlayStation, hey, man, we are a live service game. And y'all PlayStation players, you like COD. Let's go see if Xbox players want to represent us. And they basically got the publishing rights for Predator Hunting Grounds. And they went ahead and moved into that capacity. Then there was Square Enix, or there is Square Enix, who said, we want to bring our games to Xbox. You see, the compounding effect keeps going. And then Koei Tecmo, who basically made the Rise of Ronin game, said, well, from now on, we want to be publishing our games. And so it seems like this market of exclusivity that PlayStation had been depending on, this pipeline, has pretty much closed up shop. And you know what the worst thing is? They're closing up shop in the middle of this generation. So it's going to be very interesting to see how things go. Maybe they have some games in the pipeline that they've agreed to, but I think them telling their investors this is the direction that we're going, because this was not to gamers. This was a message. Both of these messages in terms of Square Enix and Koei Tecmo were to investors. And then the others are just for survival. Like, you cannot expect Ilphonic, which is a small studio that has barely developed any games, to go ahead and think that somewhere, somehow, they're only going to basically be able to chill with this exclusivity deal as these games are pretty much dying. And I think this is where a lot of people miss what in the world this whole gaming scene change is looking like. You see, I saw a comment from another audience member who said once this happened, this is what their comment said. And I think it was it shocked me a little bit. They said, first, I left Xbox. Now I'm going to, leave PlayStation very soon as well. I'm not going to show you the username of this person, but I was quite surprised because I was like, so you left Xbox for what reason? Because they didn't have games that were exclusive. And now you're going to leave PlayStation so that you can go to where? PC to go play games that you would have gotten anyway. I don't know if I understand the reasoning why some gamers actually game. Perhaps for some of them, it's so that they can feel warm inside that there is a game available to them that's not available to anybody else. I think PlayStation has trained a lot of this folk to not be able to actually go ahead and analyze what in the world their reason for gaming actually is. Do you want frame rates? Do you want better performance? Do you want access to emulation? These are critical questions a gamer should ask. But exclusivity, that is child's freaking play. Like, maybe back in the day we could do that crap, but not anymore, ladies and gentlemen. It's just kind of cringe for anybody to pretty much, have their entire gaming premise stick with exclusivity as a thing. Like, if the platform has maintained full-blown exclusivity all these years, then yeah, you understand, like Nintendo. But PlayStation has basically been bleeding. They want money. They've said it before that they're pretty much behind their competition and their pillars are dated. So this is the reality that you're seeing. Now, here's what's really interesting with this Kojima game, though. Is the announcement came out, and ladies and gentlemen, doesn't this seem really strange? Like if we created a spreadsheet, right? And in this spreadsheet, we started looking at the different games and looking at the reason these PlayStation games are coming to the Xbox platform, you're going to see a plethora of excuses. Like MLB The Show. Do y'all remember? MLB The Show literally had the excuse of MLB wanted it to be on the Xbox platform. And not only that, but on Game Pass. So somehow MLB, they sent a guy in there, and they say, hey, man, they talk to the creative director of San Diego Studios and say, hey, you better make a port for the Xbox, platform else. And PlayStation was like, oh, we're so scared. Then when you talk about Lego Horizon Adventures, guess what people say? Lego wanted it on other platforms. And I'm like, really? All these people are dictating the terms of business for PlayStation, the market leader? Then when you go ahead and talk about, say, even this Kojima game, the next question you hear is, well, guess what they did? They sold the game back to Hideo Kojima in order for Hideo Kojima to then be the one who, with 505 Games, published this Death Stranding title. It's a very tactful way for PlayStation to continue to save face, as if to say, we're not really big on this particular IP that we just pretty much spent money on. And I'm happy for Hideo Kojima, to be honest, from a creative perspective. You've worked your life building, games for other people. And the one game that, pretty much got after all of the, craziness that happened with Metal Gear Solid 5, somebody, finds themselves in a position to help you, but the money had the game. It seems like this game was a 5-year exclusive. Imagine it's coming out 5 years later, right? And now you have control over your IP, and I'm sure they've made money. I think this game probably reached about 19 million folk. Now, it was given away on the Epic Games Store. I own it on Epic Games Store. So I'm not going to go ahead and buy a game that I already own that, honestly, it's not really the most appealing for me personally. Some people have said it's good, but, it's not a game that I'm going to prioritize on my backlog. Backlog is way too full to be dealing with that. But to my fellow PlayStation fans, you can't be this vitriolic about this exclusivity thing. You have to understand that the industry and the market has changed. Yes, people are going to, lord it over you, but it's your turn to actually, in a sense, eat humble pie and, just observe what the market is doing. If you've ever engaged in the nasty console war anyways. Now, if you've been on a PlayStation and you couldn't be bothered and, you're happy that other people comes to gets the video games that you play, then great for everybody. That's a wonderful thing to observe. But there are some folk who are not just happy about this stuff. Some people are saying, well, nobody cares about the game anymore. Well, in regards to what's going on in the market, we care. And that this is happening because of saturation of games. Kojima understands that he has locked his game to, two ecosystems that pretty much have exhausted all of the possible fans, or at least most of the possible fans that they can garner. And so now that, the conversation about Hideo Kojima's next game and Death Stranding 2 and all the above are in the works, it makes sense that he increases his audience, because that way you can pretty much do the sequel. This is what I've been telling y'all about Stellar Blade. I told y'all, I said Stellar Blade being locked to the PlayStation platform is a problem simply because when they decide they want to make a sequel or another game and there's no, daddy PlayStation to buffer them, they're going to need another platform. So they'll probably be in a position where they go and buy back their own IP. Oh, what a scam. What a scam. They're going to have to go buy their own IP publishing rights back, or their own IP rights back from another company, and then publish it on a platform to be able to sell. This exclusivity thing with PlayStation, if any studio is smart and looking at it from the outside, I'm sure they're probably looking and saying, nah, man. And I think Pearl Abyss, they're legends for making that decision. They really made the greatest choice that I could come up with. And this is my opinion on the matter. I'll make more videos about this. We're going to keep count. We have to keep count. If we don't keep count, they're going to go ahead and say, we're doing A, B, C, D, and E. But this is pretty much where we find ourselves. Thanks for watching the video. Appreciate you guys' time and audience. Hopefully we'll talk pretty soon in another one. Peace out.